Back in 2016, a small, rather unknown studio called Campo Santo released a game called Firewatch. And this game was quite the accomplishment, especially for a first release of a developer such as this. And back in 2018, Campo Santo was acquired by Valve. They were bought out because they clearly saw the skill that these developers had in just this one game. And this game is an experience. It's a rather simple walking simulator, but it tells a fantastic story with some truly stunning and mesmerizing gameplay. And yeah, I'm going to walk you through some of it. Not going to spoil anything major, just going to do some little gameplay spoilers, I guess. But yeah, just stick with it. This is really, really a game that needs to be seen. So the focus mainly revolves around Henry, who you play, and through the introduction of the game, you get these multiple choice sections. There's no on-screen visuals other than the words that you get to select. You use during these speech kind of bubbles of these conversations between Henry and his wife and other people. And you start to learn who this character is. And so the game itself takes place in 1989, and Henry has become a fire lookout in the Shoshone National Forest, which is a fictitious place, but it is based on Wyoming. And the only companion that Henry has out here is Delilah, who he speaks to with his walkie-talkie. And she is another fire lookout who, through reasons of her own, is there, very different to Henry. And basically the game revolves around you and Delilah talking to each other, but you never see her, and basically the chemistry between you as the player with this random woman that you've never met. And it's very unique storytelling in that way. And so as you adventure around the world, around this forest, and do the jobs that he has to do as this lookout with the, it could be harmless, from you have to stop these swimmers setting off fireworks, to more kind of darker things like doors and caves being left open that have been locked for since you arrived, and weird people appearing in shadows around and silhouettes that you keep spotting. So there's definitely a mystery to this game as well, but it's really unique storytelling, and that's what makes this game so amazing. And you just see from these visuals on screen, this game is absolutely beautiful. Really, really is. But this game itself was made by Chris Remo, as well as his team, obviously, of Campo Santo. So Chris Remo designed, wrote, and scored most of the game. Game runs on the Unity engine, and which makes for such a great gameplay experience. Like I said, nothing to really fault. I guess there's a bit of a lack of choice in a lot of regards, other than with the dialogue, but with the gameplay, it's very sort of linear in the fact that there's certain places you have to go at certain points, but it's your decision on how you want to travel to these places. It's very much sort of open world as as the story is being told. But yeah, it's this game as a whole, it makes you very sort of nostalgic for that time, obviously being set in 1989. It's a nice period for the game to be set in, and with the beautiful game and the lovely day and night cycles and these sunsets and sunrises, and you really kind of feel like, it's dusk and, it's so quiet and just so out there alone. Now, I've called this video the Escalation of Isolation, and I've called it that because I definitely believe that is Firewatch's strong point. And that's the fact that a lot of games really try to encapture the idea of being isolated as the player, but a lot of them don't really do it quite as well as Firewatch does. And the reason I say it escalates is that you start off in this game, and it's very clear what you have to do. You're this fire lookout, and you have to do these jobs that Delilah's telling you over the walkie-talkie, and it's rather straightforward and relaxed, and you definitely feel like you're almost on holiday. You're just wandering around this beautiful landscape, and it really feels like it's just a beautiful game, and it's very kind of relaxing, and just a nice experience. And Henry, who you're playing as, and you yourself, the player, are enjoying it together. But the escalation comes in the fact that the further that you get in this game, the more isolated you feel. And one thing that helps with this is the score and how it builds up when it really needs to, and the visuals and everything, and the locations all mixed together to create this. And what I mean by this is that as you speak to Delilah less, as these weird mysteries start happening, that you know that someone else is in this forest with you, but they're definitely not friendly, you start to feel more isolated, more vulnerable. You have nothing to protect yourself. You definitely start to feel like your isolation has escalated, as I called it. So yeah, it's a fantastic game, and for a video game to tell this story is really quite something. A lot of people, I think, push video games aside as a digital art form and look more to movies and that sort of way of storytelling. But stories can be told fantastically through this, and I don't think any other form of media could have told the story of Firewatch anywhere near as well as this game has. So if you want to capture that feeling of that outdoorsy, open world without going outdoors itself, this is the perfect game. It's just brilliant. And as the story evolves and the more you see, you really start to get enticed into this game. And it's definitely possible to play through in one setting, and I almost recommend it, because, you know, then you get to experience it all at once and feel the story as it evolves. But you can still separate it. I've played this game probably 3 to 4 times now. I think one of those times I played through it the whole time. I think that was the second time I did it. But just breaking it up as well, it's nice, and you definitely start to notice the pace more as well that way. But it's obviously down to you. It's both ways. It's a great experience, and that's because it's a great game, and it got nominated for a lot of awards. It won a lot of awards, and it really goes to show how fantastic this game is and how fantastic these developers are at Campo Santo to be able to make such a critically acclaimed, amazing game on their first try, really. And it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. All of these moments, you know, all these moments that go throughout are also very unique in a way, because you as the player, I feel like there's places that obviously most people have been to, but the way that I've looked at them, or things that I've noticed, or, you know, you go down by the lake and the way that the leaves fall off the tree and simple things like that, or the darkness of the caves that you're going through and the light shining through these gaps, they all feel very special to you and like an experience that you can remember. The game itself, with all this dialogue and this connection between the characters, and some of these lines that they come up with, you know, it's a good laugh and it's just relaxing moments, but it also covers lots of serious issues and issues with people opening up about the struggles in life and how escapism isn't always the answer to it. And I think as a whole, it makes you realise that being isolated isn't always the way you want to be. You want to be with other people, and this game really makes you want to connect with people, especially towards the end. But yeah, this is an amazing game, and it's a must-play. It's available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC, everything. Absolutely fantastic game. A really great experience, and if you want to get into walking simulators, or there's more walking simulators you want to try out, this is definitely one of those games that you have to give a go. Yeah, Firewatch is a beautiful game and a beautiful experience that everyone needs to give a go.